Do you think that your anger has come from the outside in and now you want to let it out again? Are you sure that the anger is coming from the outside? That is a counter question. In Plum Village, we learn how to deal with our anger, how to take care of our anger. Anger is not something pleasant. It's like the mud. But without the mud, we cannot grow lotus flowers. So the mud is useful somehow. So your anger is useful somehow. So maybe you should not get it out. You should not throw it away. If you know how to make good use of your anger, you can grow the lotus of peace, of joy, of forgiveness. And this is a very deep teaching in Plum Village. We have been learning about this. Anger comes up not from the outside, but from the inside. Because we do not understand, and that is why we cannot love. And if we look deeply, we listen deeply, we'll be able to understand. And when we understand, there is love. And when there is love, anger just transforms itself. You don't have to take anger and throw it away. In fact, anger is something that you can use, and if you hold that anger in understanding, in compassion, then anger becomes something like love, like compassion. I will give you an example. The other fellow this morning said something unkind to you. He did something, or he said something unkind to you, and you suffer, and anger is coming up. And usually, if you are not a good practitioner, you want to give that boy or that girl a punch. Punish him or her. And that is anger in us. And that anger is a kind of mud. It could smear everything. So we need to be aware that that mud of anger we have to handle. And do not let the mud to smear us and smear the other person. So you may like to breathe in calmly, mindfully, and look at that boy or girl. And what do you see in him or in her? You see there is a violence in him, there is anger, suffering in him or in her. If that boy or girl is happy, he would not have said something mean like that. He wouldn't have done something violent like that. But he did not have the happiness. He does not have the happiness in him. That is why he suffer. And when he suffer like that, he want to get his suffering out by saying something mean to you or doing something unkind to you, and he think that by doing so he will suffer less. That's not very intelligent. So when you look and you see that boy is unhappy, there is anger, violence in him, and he does not know how to handle the violence in him, the unhappiness in him. That is why he suffers. And when he suffers like that, it's natural that he makes people around him suffer. So when you see the anger in him or in her, and you understand that anger, you are no longer angry at him. Poor boy, poor little boy, poor little girl, they suffer. I don't want to punish him, to make him suffer more. I want to make him suffer less. And you smile to him. You said, dear friend, I know that you suffer. I'm not angry at you, even if you have said something like that to me, even if you have done something like that to me, because you suffer a lot. So I don't blame you. I'm not angry at you. I'm breathing in and out. I understand you. That is why I'm not angry at you. I do not suffer. So you are a good practitioner. And he will be amazed. Other people will react differently. They will hit him or tell him something very mean. But you are not doing like that. You are reacting in a very different way, with tenderness, loving kindness, smile. And he will be amazed. And one day he will ask you, how can you do that? When someone said something very brutal, very mean, and does something very violent like that, and you still keep your calm, your peace. How? And then you tell him, you tell her how you have come to Plum Village and learn that kind of mindful breathing and recognize the anger and recognize anger in you and in that person. So we come here as very young people, and we learn these wonderful things. And you might be able to share that with your friends when you go back to school. That is also a good question.